You too, it's about boy time back on another video, man. And today, you feel me? I got a banger for y'all, man. I'm gonna be talking about the Kevin Durant trade drama, trade saga. Unless you've been living under a rock, about a week ago, Kevin Durant requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets, currently on a 4-year, $198 million deal. And he said his preferred destination would be the Phoenix Suns and the Miami Heat. Well, a week later, and it's updated that practically the only team he wants to play for next year is the Phoenix Suns. But it's a very tricky, complicated situation for a multitude of reasons. But as always, make sure to like, subscribe if you're new. And I'm going to get into each one of these reasons in this video. Without further ado, let's get into it, man. Reason number one why this Kevin Durant trade is just extremely tricky. Nets management and / Durant's contract. He's under contract for 4 years. So in hindsight, the Nets don't actually have to do anything. But James Harden got his way out. AD got his way out. Kawhi got his way out, even though he didn't be able to trade where he wanted to. I think Durant is giving the Nets enough basketball. Like, it was like Kawhi had a horrible relationship with management, and he was done with them. So they just shipped him off somewhere else. But Durant, also tell the fact that Phoenix is a West team, so they can ship him across the league. So, but Mets management asked for ridiculous prices. Screenshot here, them asking for Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and 4 first-round picks. Another trade where they asked for Devin Booker and a couple of first-round picks. Like, the Nets are asking for an unrealistic amount for a 33-year-old, or top 5, easily top 5 player in the league, but still a 33-year-old player. So about to be 34 very soon, who's had practically injuries the last 5 years, injury prone. So do you think teams are going to throw away their future on top of getting an older guy and pretty much destroying their team for a guy who doesn't want to be there? I can't see a scenario where that happens. But that's one reason why the Brooklyn Nets KD trade is very complicated, and there's a decent chance, slight chance, that he might stay in Brooklyn next year. Another reason why Kevin Durant trade is super complicated is because the leverage that the Nets and Suns think they have, and the surprisingly low market value for Kevin Durant currently. What I mean by that is, at the beginning, the Nets raised the bar so high, and the Gobert trade made it worse, by the way. Made this a lot worse. Now the Nets expect for an insane amount of draft picks and an insane amount of players. That's just unrealistic for any team to really give up. And Kevin Durant is, from his camp at least, I don't know if any of it actually came from Kevin Durant himself, stated multiple times that he only wants to play in Phoenix. So when you hear that, and as a team, are you going to give up your entire future for a guy who doesn't want to be there, who literally wants to only be in Phoenix? So that's why the Phoenix think they have leverage. Brooklyn think they have leverage because all these media sources talking about, oh, Toronto offered this, and Toronto's a dark horse, and not Indiana's dark horse, but the different teams are dark. He might go back to Brooklyn, and he stated multiple times that he wants to play only for Phoenix and with D Book and CP. So when that happens, the Suns gain leverage. But when you have a 4-year deal, it's not like Kyrie. If it was just Kyrie they're trying to trade for, the deal would have been done already. It's over, because what is there to talk about? A guy 1 year left, and he wants to be somewhere, and he's going to leave there anyways in free agency. But KD got 4 years on his deal. So the Nets have some leverage, but not a lot. So that's another reason why this KD trade is super complicated, and it's just overall, it's going to be really interesting to see how these next few days play out. But let's get into the third and final reason to why this KD trade is one of the more complicated ones in NBA history. And the third reason why this trade is incredibly complicated and overall very hard to do is DeAndre Ayton's contract. To-be contract. Indiana Pacers showed a lot of interest in him, and I believe they plan to sign him an offer sheet, which could really complicate things because he's the most valuable asset the Suns have. Booker is non-tradable for a KD deal. Ayton is better than Mikal. Lack of a market, though, surprisingly. And the fact that Indiana could sign him an offer sheet with a no trade clause is very scary, because they can offer a 4-year 170 and 5-year 170 with a no trade clause. Now DeAndre Ayton signs that, or if he doesn't, Phoenix, he's restricted, so Phoenix could match that. But if they match that, it's a no trade clause. Therefore, he can't be traded any type of deal unless he's willing to go. So it gets very tricky at that. It gets very, very, very tricky at that point. And overall, as I'm recording this, it's about 1 in the morning. So uh, currently, the places could offer DeAndre Ayton something. By the time this video is uploaded, they might have probably already offered him something, an offer sheet of some sort, and we'll have to see how that plays out. But that's gonna do all for the video, man. Those are really 3 reasons why Kevin Durant trade is probably the most difficult, complicated one in recent memory. And yeah, he says he wants to be a Phoenix Sun, but the lack of market and the situation with DeAndre Ayton, because the relationship with Phoenix is cooked, is done. So the lack of relationship, plus the fact that the market for KD is limited because he's explicitly made it clear he wants to play for the Phoenix Suns, makes this a very hard trade. But as always, make sure to like, subscribe if you're new. It's Boy Time, man, and I'm out, man.